Hi everyone, we're back and we're talking what? Financial strategy, all right? And it involves everything. So, and speaking of everything, we got a lot of baby boomers out there. And as a matter of fact, Variety Talk family, we will be talking about what to do with our parents in terms of how to help them as they get older, estate planning, facilities, home care, whatever it involves. And one of the things that we'll be talking about right now that's really important is long-term care. And I understand that there are some differences. There's chronic illnesses and critical illnesses. Why don't you shed a little light on that for us?
And before we go there, I ran into two baby boomers, separate families in Chicago. And these people were both in their 50s and they had older parents. I attempted to market something called long-term care that take care of the nursing home, assisted living, all those things. And they were upset at me that if I was trying to sell them something, which I was. But the issue was this: within a year, both of them, their parents lost everything. They got no inheritance because they wouldn't listen to me. In other words, the parents, when someone goes to a nursing home, you can pay anywhere from $70,000 to $100,000 a year for the cost of a nursing home or assisted living. And where does that come from? If the people don't have the cash, then it always comes from they have to put the title to their house over. They take over their house, they take over the bank accounts, and the nursing homes are not being selfish and mean about this. They got to get paid. They're going to take them in, they're going to give them the service, but that's the cost. And if they don't have the cash to do it or a policy to do it, they take all the assets, and the kids end up getting nothing.
Wow.
And so if someone is a baby boomer or approaching it, you have older parents, the ability to take care of parents when they get older is the most important thing that they're going to look at. And we have ways of looking at that, products which will pay for that, and it makes sense for the parents. And what I wanted to do was to have my associate, Johnny D here, talk about the long-term care. And there's differences between long-term care policy. There's a new type of life insurance out there now that most people don't know about or have that will pay for long-term care and assisted living. So John, would you want to?
Well, I find when I'm speaking with clients and we talk about long-term care, down deep they really are not sure what it is, but they're too embarrassed to actually ask, right? There's no stupid question. So what is long-term care? What is it? So long-term care is all based upon the 6 activities of daily living. And those 6 activities of daily living are being able to go to the bathroom, dressing, cooking for yourself, continence, bladder control, cooking, and what did I miss?
Mobility.
Bathing.
Bathing and getting.
So these 6 activities of daily living are pretty much the triggering mechanisms of what people consider as long-term care. If you fail 2 of those activities of daily living, they consider you in need of long-term care. Some people call it assisted living, some people call it nursing home. The bottom line is you need help living on a day-to-day basis. So that's what it's all about. And everybody that is of these ages that have concern, it can happen to much younger people. They may have a stroke or whatnot, but we really look at the senior markets, those, whatever it may be, 65 to 100 years old. Technology is getting so good, modern medicine is getting so good.
People are living longer.
People are living a lot longer, and medicine is keeping these people alive for a long time. The problem is they may be unable to take a bath by themselves. They may be unable to go to the bathroom by themselves, or cook, or they may have dementia and they have to be watched 24 hours a day. So who's going to do this? So as children of parents, we sometimes think, well, that's my parents' problem, but it really isn't the parents' problem. It's our problem, right? It's our problem because we're the ones that are going to have to deal with a parent that may have dementia or Parkinson's or unable to move. Maybe they got so heavy in life that they can't move anymore. When they get old and weak and their muscles become atrophied and you can't move any longer, who's going to help them? We are. It's our problem. So you probably see long-term care, nursing home places being built all over in your communities. and it's because baby boomers are turning, there's 10,000 baby boomers a day turning 65. And the baby boomers are about 73 years old. So this whole idea is just in its infant stages. So we think it's our parents' problems. It's not. It's our problem. My parents are in their 80s. They need some assisted living. I have friends that have parents with dementia, or parents that had strokes, or parents that need help. And you go into these long-term care facilities, it's not your choice. Sometimes you just can't do it. Sometimes the parents will think, well, I'll have my sweet little daughter watch over me if something happens. Well, the problem is the daughter may not be able to do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They may not, the parent may require skilled care.
So when does one start thinking about getting this kind of insurance for your parents? Because you're right, this is something that all of a sudden just comes up and the families are like, oh my God, what are we going to do? How are we going to take care of dad and mom? And some people just get the light bulb and they are not prepared. So how does one prepare, how does a family prepare for their parents, and when should they begin to prepare?
Well, you should obviously happen before they need the care. But,
I mean, are we talking decades, like 20 years?
Well, I see
30
people
years?
sometimes looking, most of them should be looking at in their mid-60s or later, even in their later 50s or later, because most likely those people are healthy, but not saying something couldn't happen to those people, right? It's not everybody that's 57 or 59 years old that's going to be perfectly healthy until they're 83. So wait till you're 83. So the sooner you can do it, the better. But I would, if you're 35 or 40 years old, I'd be more concerned with having disability insurance than long-term care insurance. But also, I think you need to have a heart-to-heart talk with your parent. Say, Mom, Dad, what would happen? What would you want to have happen if you ended up getting dementia and needed care? Or if you needed this happen or that happen and you needed care? You need to have these conversations with your parents. And people don't, because they feel awkward about it. I think that's where Robert and I are so used to talking to people. I talk to people about it all the time, and that I don't have a problem talking about it. But it's sometimes a child may have a problem talking to a parent about it. But if you don't do it as a child, or vice versa, if the parent doesn't talk to the child about, here's what I want, well, shame on you. You gotta have those conversations.
So, you guys are the specialists. Do you provide this type of insurance for people? Can you share with our audience how they can get in contact with you to get some of this?
My telephone number is 702-830-1853, 702-830-1853, and then I don't know whether you have a picture of my my website. Is RW Consulting of Las Vegas, and you can go to that site and even fill in your information, and I'll get an email on how to contact you.
All right.
Yes, we do.
And we're going to make sure we give that number out again before we conclude the show, and that's a great place for us to take a station break. You're watching Variety Talk live from Las Vegas. You're sitting in on our financial show with Mr. Robert Fauzi and Mr. Johnny D. Simone. We'll be right back.